Welcome to the top 10 tips to maximize your revenue for Samsung themes. Before we start, a few housekeeping items. Sorry for sending you the wrong link 15 minutes prior to the webinar about the gear. So this is a welcome to the theme webinar. So therefore we are starting 5 minutes late so that everybody had the correct link. If you have any questions during this webinar, please post them in the chat box and we can answer them after the presentations. And this session will be recorded and posted on our webinar page that you will see the bit.ly link on the page as well as in YouTube. So it's available in our library. And after the webinar, there will be also a quick survey to let us know how did we do and what would you like to hear moving forward. So let us learn how we can help you. So today we'll be sharing some tips how to maximize revenue from Samsung themes. My name is Niklas Leibeck, Director of Developer Success, and I have a pleasure to invite Melanie Lombardi from EchoVisuals and from Winter Garden in Florida, and she will be sharing her journey, publishing her first free theme in 2016 to almost 40 million downloads as of today. Before we talk about themes, I wanted to introduce Samsung Developer Program and how we are here to help you and make you successful. So we are a team based in Mountain View, California. You can reach us very easily, support.samsungdevelopers.com, and we cover following technologies and provide a few developer services. So for example, we support Samsung Android SDKs, Sun Tizen Studio Wearable SDKs for gear development, gear watch face designer, and theme editor, and many other tools. And you have a question about something else, you can approach us as well. Few developer services that you might find useful to know. First one is Developer Discount Program, which is US only program, or you need to have a US mailing address. So basically developers need devices, gear, phones, tablets, or even TVs, so you can save up to 30%. You can buy 2 devices per device category in a calendar year, and that's a way to source a test device. When you sign up for SamsungDevelopers.com, we will send you a monthly newsletter. You will be invited to webinars, and you will be the first to know what's happening in our ecosystem. We provide you technical support. We try to respond to you in 1 business day, and then we also support a banner promotion request. This is very popular among gear publishers, and they basically get the seller featured in the staff picks of the gear store. And if you get selected, then the promotion typically boosts your revenues 4x during the 2 weeks period of time. So that's a service very valuable for the especially gear publishers. Samsung Badges is a service very similar to bit.ly or tiny URL. Sellers can create short URLs that you can then use to promote your themes in your channels. And as you are then sending pre-filtered traffic to the store, based on experience, you send a high quality users to the store, typically resulting in an 80% plus conversion in the store. So it's a very good way to promote your content and send consumers to the store. So register at SamsungDevelopers.com to access all of these services. We have some past webinars that are very useful for theme publishers to describe as a library of content to go through their entire journey. As you may know, the theme editor is not in public domain. You need to apply for it. And we have a webinar that we did a few months back, designing themes for Samsung devices. That is a very useful webinar for you to know how to apply access to the tool, which is a very important step. Then we also have a material to cover design, development, publishing, promoting, and monetization. This webinar is mostly talking about the monetization, some providing end-to-end tips on how to maximize the conversion. As well as then all the webinars, we have webinars about gear, Samsung in-app purchase available in our library, and you can see the link on this page. What are themes? Themes are a way for consumer to express themselves. It's a package tool of the package settings for always-on display, screen, lock screen, home screen, new icons, the color palette for dialer, contacts, email, calendar, settings, all the Samsung Score applications. So for consumer perspective, it basically changes to a phone to a totally different experience, where consumer can then express kind of their patriotism to a World Cup theme, World Cup country in the World Cup, or Independence Day, or summer, winter, spring. So there's endless possibilities how the consumer can express the topic that is important for them and what they follow. So now let's talk about some tips. I will start from a very basic one. The first tip is that to see what's trending in your country. And as a seller or potential seller, you can do this easiest by launching the theme store on your Samsung phone. Once you start it, you'll see the featured category. You change it to paid, and then you can see what are the top paid themes in your country. The country information is taken from your Samsung account. In 2017, what were the top trends and top selling themes? On this slide, you'll see 8 themes that were the top sellers. What can we observe from this slide? We can see that there were many animated themes and there were many dark themes. The average sales price in the US in 2017 was $2.2 and in China was $1.2. As a creator of digital content, maximizing your global reach is one way to get financial success. So there are at the moment 61 countries where you can sell themes, and yes, you can see from the chart it covers most of the countries, and you can see that most of the countries where the downloads come. So when you have content, then you submit it in the theme store, and you can publish the content in all of these countries. When we look at the downloads, so this is now includes free downloads. We can see that USA, China, India, and Korea make about 50% of the downloads. So you can think, what would be, if you want to target the top markets, what are the themes, topics, seasonal content that you might find useful, or people in these countries might find useful. And this slide shows you the theme revenue per country. In this, we can see that the only difference is that India is now number 14. US, China, and India make 61% of the revenue in the store. As a seller, you focus on the countries that convert and people consume the content and willing to buy. So then you might ask, well, the content, what do I need to design for targeting these three markets? I think it's exciting to see that China is included, and it's 15%. It's growing every year. As game publishers, I mean, they getting a content item published in China. There's very different and maybe difficult process. However, as a theme publisher, what's unique here is that you can publish wherever you are in the world. You can publish your content through the seller office to US and China and all the other countries. So it's an interesting kind of that you can target China as well. It's a good, big opportunity. When we look at the device model, the theme store was launched in 2016 with the Galaxy S6, and since then there are 52 device models available supporting the theme store. But according to our data, it's the last two flagship phones make about 75% of the paid transactions. So these two flagship phones as of now, which are in the market, are Galaxy S9 and Note 8, and those are the two flagship phones. Obviously, on average, these are high-end phones, affluent users own them, and therefore when they see a beautiful content for their beautiful device, they are willing to spend money and buy amazing themes. So recommendation is that when you start the journey, focus on these flagship phones and make sure that you use the features available. You target those users with those devices. Historically, we've seen a couple of important peaks in the consumption. So historically, in second quarter, when the S series device is announced, there's a peak. These are the early adopters of the latest Galaxy phone, and they want to consume and personalize their phones, as well as historically in third quarter, when the Note series device is launched, then these users are early adopters, loyal S Pen device owners, they personalize their device, as well as then a fourth quarter when phones are given as holiday gifts and consumers are activating those devices. Targeting the demographics. Most of the users in the theme store are users in their 20s and 30s. Few words about the preferences depending on the country. So in the US, Korea, and UK, there's a bit more females in the store downloading content, and there are stronger gender differences between males and females. I have a few examples. China, India, and Australia, there are more males downloading content and maybe more unisex or less slight gender preferences. So you may want to consider these design tastes. So, for example, if you were to target US, Japan, and the UK, for females, kind of the popular colors are pink, white, green, and then and for males, blue and black colored themes. For China, it's simple themes. Green color is popular. India, brown and black. Australia, simple designs with black colors. As we saw in 2017, consumers clearly love animations. It's basically a surprise factor, something that makes your theme live on your phone. So with the Galaxy S9, there was a new feature launch, which is a video on the lock screen. So you can upload a MP4, 100 megabytes, and that's basically then an amazing wow factor if the consumer then applies the theme on their phone. Unfortunately, you cannot see the dog in this example moving, but basically that's the idea, that on the lock screen you can see then the video running. Other tips how to maximize conversion: catchy titles. So if you have branded content, you may use words like official. If you have live, premium, those are some of the catchy keywords in the title of the theme to draw consumers' attention. Using correct tags, naturally important. Consumer might be looking for a pink theme, black theme, silver theme. Then you are part of basically the search engine will then highlight you. You will be included in that content set. So remember to use the correct tags in the store. Use keywords, obvious, so that the consumer can find your themes. So World Cup, football, soccer, Barcelona, Brazil, those would be the important keywords if you were to publish themes to be available for the World Cups that just started. Responding to consumer feedback via the seller office. Obviously, like in any business, customer feedback is very important. Customers will provide you good feedback and negative feedback. And responding to them to seller office is important. And you can use coupons to reward consumers and reward them for the feedback that they leave on your product page. Samsung Themes magazine is a fantastic resource for you to know what's trending around the world, because the Samsung account is tied to one country in your phone. So it's not very easy to see, can I see what's popular in China, USA, or Korea. So therefore, the Samsung Theme magazines, as a seller, it's a fantastic resource for you to know what's trending. So you will, on a monthly basis, you get the popular keywords, the top 10, 20 keywords for USA, China, Korea, Germany, UK, and Russia. And you'll see the top 6, you get the most popular themes for these major 6 countries. So it's a good source for you to see what's trending. And obviously, also in the theme magazine, there are announcements whether there are some changes in a tool or policies. So it's good to stay up to date with what changes in the theme store. And then the global collection is a fantastic opportunity to get featured. So if you are a gear store publisher and you know that in the gear store, sellers and their content sets get promoted. So it's more or less focused on one seller and their brand and their portfolio of gear watch faces. Theme store operates a bit a different way, that there are these seasonal topics that gets highlighted in the store, and then it's a content set for multiple different sellers. So for example, there are summer collections for June and July, and that summer collection then includes themes for multiple different theme sellers. So the Samsung Theme magazine is when you log in, when you create an account, log in, then in this section that is highlighted with red, you'll see these announcements. And these are very important for you to see that what is our merchandising calendar, what are the themes, the content sets that will be featured globally, and an opportunity, way to get reply and recommend your summer themes to be included in the summer collection. And that is a global process. I would definitely recommend to sign up. Also from in the US, the #1 market, these are the key holidays and the themes for our calendar year. And in order to get featured in these content sets, and some of them are US-specific holidays, you would go to Samsung developers website, log in, and submit a promotion request. And then you would submit this request 2 to 3 weeks prior to the date to make us aware that you have content that you would like to be featured. For example, for Valentine's Day or the Independence Day. As a seller, it's great when Samsung features you in the store, but you cannot rely on it. And you have to take control of your own destiny by bringing a loyal base in your channels. So what you can do is in your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, your website, we have a tool called Samsung Badges. You can create these short URLs and send users from your website to Theme Store. So I have a few examples here. from EchoVisuals, their seller page, and the one example of a per theme product page. When you punch those URLs on your phone, you'll be sent to the product page or the seller page. So you can then, that's the way that regardless of what tool you use, Facebook, Twitter, and so forth, you can then send consumers from your channels to the store with one click, and then they can purchase the content. It's very similar to a kind of short URL service that creates a link. So to summarize, Theme Store is it's a real opportunity. The gross sales in 2017 were about $10 million US, and there are about 200 sellers at the moment who publish paid content. If we assume that 20% of the sellers made 80% of the revenue, that would mean that the gross annual sales would be around $150,000 for the top talents in 2017. The 80% of the Theme Store revenue, or 75 to 80%, comes from the 2 premium flagship phones. I would recommend to focus on the 2 devices that really matter where the revenue comes. We talked about themes, but in reality, the Theme Store supports different content types. There are themes, wallpapers, always on display items, and then icon packs. So in the Theme Store, a theme which is a end-to-end experience generates about 70% of the revenue. Wallpapers generate 19%. So it would make sense to create first a theme, publish that as an end-to-end experience. You may consider then compiling another variant, which is just a wallpaper. That's basically, I think it makes sense. Consumers think that that's a designed experience, and therefore they're willing to spend money and buy these themes. Go to market. If you're a new theme seller, you may consider a free promotion to get you better discovered in the early stages of your journey and get more reviews, and then market as a paid item, change it to a paid item. Regarding holidays, so now you know that the banner promotions, how they operate. So we have these content sets that are global, as well as then all the countries have their own seasonal holidays. If you have an idea for, you understand what's happening in those countries and societies, you should reach out to, you should look up on the Seller magazine what are the global themes. And if you have a US specific content, then submit a promotion request through Samsung Developer Program. Style recommendation is to use animated themes, because we can see that they surprise consumers and consumers like them. Marketing, use Samsung badges to promote your themes in your marketing channels. Bring very high quality, once you build a loyal base of customers, these customers keep coming back to your portfolio. They like you and your style, and then you can send them with one click to the store to download your new theme, and keep consumers rebuying your content. Customer service, do an amazing customer service. You can use coupons to recognize and reward for good and bad feedback. And they will basically start, it's likely that consumers will start following you after you surprise them with a good gesture. That's what I wanted to share with you. And now it's my pleasure to invite Melanie Lombardi, and she will be sharing her journey from the first free theme to almost 40 million downloads. Over to you, Melanie.
Thanks, Nicholas. Hi, everyone. I hope you're all enjoying the webinar so far and that it's been very helpful and informative for you. I'm here today to tell you a little bit about our success story and how we created a company that focuses on making fun, and eye-catching themes for Samsung devices. You've already learned a lot about themes today, so now you get to hear a little bit about our experience creating them. We're actually currently only a small company which consists of the two of us. I'm Melanie, EchoVisuals President, and my husband John is EchoVisuals Business Manager. I work on creating themes, so I handle the art and design part, and John focuses on the business and financial side. In this presentation, I'm going to talk about how we found out about the theme store and how we started making themes. I'm going to give details about our journey to become a successful business. I'm also going to show some of our most popular themes as examples. After that, I'm going to share some tips on how you can increase your profits. And finally, I'm going to talk about the advantages of the Samsung Developer Program. All right, I'm going to start my story at the very beginning, before EchoVisuals even existed. It all started when John gave me a Galaxy S6 as a birthday present back in 2015. I was so excited to get a new phone that I spent hours and hours, using it just to learn all the new features that were available. And this is how I happened to stumble upon the theme store. This is when it was in its very early stages, and all the themes were actually free. And so I started to apply a few of them to my phone. I was amazed because I had never seen anything like it. I loved how they changed the whole look of my phone, including, wallpapers, dialers, messaging apps, and icons. It was pretty much like getting a brand new phone every time I applied a different theme. I thought it was such a fun feature that I immediately showed it to my husband, John. And so he browsed through the theme store, and then he noticed there was a banner up right at the top saying, "Do you want to be a theme designer? Click here to apply." So he looked at me and said, "Hey, why don't you apply to be a theme designer?" And I was a little bit uncertain on whether or not I should, because I had just applied all of these amazing themes to my phone, and I really had no idea what I would even put on a wallpaper if I made my own theme. Maybe some of you are thinking the same thing right now, like, where do I even start? That's how I felt. However, at the time, I had just gotten laid off from my job as a character animator, so I was unemployed, and I had a lot of free time. So I thought I would give it a try. Why not? This is when I created this Winter Memories theme using image editing software, and I also put together an art portfolio. I sent it to Samsung, but I actually didn't hear back for about a month. I started to think maybe I didn't get approved or something happened, but finally one day I got an email saying I was accepted to be a theme designer, and I was so excited. Then I got the theme editor and I recreated this Winter Memories theme to actually be published in the theme store as a free theme. To be honest, I kind of just submitted it so that I could use it on my phone and have my own theme on my phone, because back then all themes were free, so I wasn't even thinking that this could be profitable. So I submitted my theme and Samsung tested it. The theme actually failed certification a couple of times. Maybe some of you are going through that right now, but you just have to get used to where to put light or dark colors. So it's a lot of trial and error, and so that there are no visibility issues. After I resubmitted it a couple of times, the theme finally got approved, and it was available to download from the theme store. A few weeks later, I looked at the statistics, and it had over 20,000 downloads. I couldn't believe how many people had downloaded the theme. I also noticed that the theme had gotten a lot of reviews from all around the world, and everyone was saying how much they loved it. It was amazing. It was just an amazing feeling to see that so many people were enjoying the theme that I had created. After making my first free theme, Samsung started to offer paid themes, and that was really exciting. So I requested to have a commercial seller status through the Samsung seller portal. I thought it would be interesting to see if I could make any money from themes, so I applied. I got approved and I started to make paid themes. Here are some of the first paid themes that I created. I wanted to make themes about things that I'm interested in, so I made some nature and animal themes. I then thought I could make a Facebook page and post all of my themes, but I wasn't sure if I would get any likes. I had just started, and it's amazing to think that I went from not knowing if anybody was going to like my Facebook page, and now we have over 25,000 likes on it. It's unbelievable, and we're so grateful for the support we have received from customers. I love making themes, but I think the most important thing that kept me going was that every time I made a new one, I got a lot of reviews from customers saying that they loved the themes and that they were beautiful and peaceful. So it was a huge motivation to keep making more. So I would really suggest to read the reviews. They're not always all good, but I think that it's always helpful. And there's always those positive ones that will just motivate you to keep going. Another thing that I really loved about it was that since I have a background in animation, making the live lock screen has always been my favorite part. Here you can see the animated lock screens, which consisted of a flying hummingbird, raindrops falling on leaves, and a howling ethereal wolf. I had a lot of fun creating them. Anyways, to talk a little bit more about the story, at the time, like I said, I was still unemployed, but I had sent in a lot of job applications in the meantime to different companies. So eventually, I got an offer to be an animator for a government agency. My family and everyone was really excited that I got the offer, but I wasn't sure if I should accept it. If I hadn't been making themes, I would have probably accepted the job offer without thinking twice. But with themes, I was having fun and I could work from home, so the thought of having a stressful job with the government wasn't very appealing. But my family insisted I should accept the offer because it was going to be a stable job. I really didn't know what to do, so I emailed Samsung and asked if there was a way that I could become a partner so that maybe themes could be a more reliable source of income. I thought that if I became partners with Samsung, then maybe my family would see theme development as a career and not just a hobby. However, Samsung replied and said that they only accepted actual companies as business partners and not individuals, unfortunately. But this got me thinking that it would be amazing if we could actually create a company. This was the perfect opportunity for John to join me so that we could create our own business. He researched about how to create a company, we got in touch with a lawyer, and finally became an official business in February of 2016. I immediately emailed Samsung again and was excited to tell them, okay, I have a business now. After giving them official documentation and proof, they accepted us as an official partner. At this point, we had overwhelming success with themes, so it was no longer a question if I could reject the government offer that I was talking about before and just be an entrepreneur instead. So far, as of this year, we have reached over 40 million downloads for both free and paid themes. So it has been an incredible journey. Now I'm going to show you some examples of our most popular themes, the ones that have animated lock screens. So after EchoVisuals was founded and I wasn't worrying about getting another job anymore, I could focus on creating more polished, higher quality animated themes. Users started to recognize our name and we were able to acquire a loyal customer base that only looked for Echo themes. The first theme you see here is Color Burst, which I think became popular because of the color combination and also the lock screen animation. The second one is Gear, which was our most popular theme actually for 2 years in a row. People liked it because of the animated gears on the lock screen and the clean and polished overall look. Finally, Hologram became popular because of its unique technology look. We love customizing as much as possible in a theme so that users feel satisfied with their purchase. So we try to always add an animated lock screen, sounds, always on displays, and many more features. Here's a short video to show some of the features that can be customized with themes. This is how our Gear theme changes the look of the phone from the default theme. There's the lock screen animation. Here you can see the home screen along with the icons. Here's the dialer where you can change the background and the font colors. The Samsung messaging app where you can customize wallpapers and message bubbles. Of course, the Samsung keyboard can also be completely customized. Here is the calendar app. Here you can see the email app. This is the notification tray. And finally, the calculator. So doesn't the theme make the phone look completely different from the default look? I think that that's what makes themes so appealing. Like I was saying at the beginning, it's like you're getting a brand new phone and all you have to do is change your theme. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about some tips on how you can increase your profits. One way you can increase your profits is by sharing your themes on social media websites. A theme can be very nice, but actually a lot of themes are released per day, so it's a good idea to promote them wherever you can. For example, you can promote your themes through your own Facebook page, YouTube, and Twitter. Another way you can increase your profits is by running promotions so that your themes are featured and users can find them easily. You can run your own promotions or collaborate with Samsung to promote your themes with theme store banners. Lastly, I recommend using theme badges in your own marketing. You can create a badge that links to your full theme portfolio, like Nicholas was saying earlier, or you can also create them for individual themes. By doing this, you can put customers one click away from your themes and significantly increase your downloads. Being a part of Samsung's ecosystem comes with many advantages. They can help a lot with marketing your products. If you already are a Samsung developer or decide to become one, be sure to sign up for the Samsung Developer Program. It's actually free, and through this website you can create the links and theme badges that I showed you on the previous slide. Also, you can request banners to be put in the Galaxy apps or theme store to feature your products. Last but not least, Samsung always runs promotions and events where you as a developer can win banner displays, and sometimes there are even contests where you could win Samsung devices. So it's a really fun community to be a part of. Finally, we also want to share some great news with you guys. We've had a lot of success as a business, but the challenging part for us at the moment is that we have a lot of themes and we're only 2 people, like I was saying at the beginning. So every time a new device comes out, we have to update thousands of applications, and it's very time consuming. So we're almost ready to increase our capacity and wanted to announce that we'll be hiring soon. If you want more information, be sure to like our Facebook page so that you can get notified when we start accepting applications to work at EchoVisuals. Currently, our office is under construction. Here you can see some samples of the space that we're hoping to create. We're making sure to make it fun and creative, and so that it is a great place to work at. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. If any of you have any questions, feel free to get in touch with us through our Facebook page, and we would love to hear from you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Melanie, for sharing your journey, you and John's journey, and we wish you success in the future as well. Few useful links for the attendees in this webinar. You can see on the slide. So creating the Samsung account, the link, how to apply for the theme editor, kind of the next cycle. If you don't have yet access to the theme editor, the next cycle starts the 3rd week of July. You should register with a Samsung account. You can register to the seller office, and you should sign up for Samsung developers. Theme Magazine, a fantastic resource to know what the global promotions are. And if you have any questions, we are available here to help you at support@samsungdevelopers.com. I wanted to also clarify one item that once you are accepted to the theme seller, there are two different profiles. You can be in the seller office calls it as a private seller. That means an independent seller, a freelancer. That's how you can start the journey. You can sell themes, and then there's also corporate profile. So it's just kind of depending on which one is more suitable for you. We have a webinar scheduled for July 26th. This is a very similar webinar that's from the topics perspective, what we covered for themes, but this is then focusing on Samsung Gear watch faces. So please sign up for that webinar. Thank you so much for attending this webinar. Hope you find it useful. We have one favor to ask. If you could please fill in the survey so that we would know what are the topics that you would like us to cover after the summer. Thank you so much.